Okay, Joey, we are in a very different spot than normal.
We're not in the basement.
There's no fireplace next to us.
Yeah. A lot of natural light. It's beautiful. So
we get to explore and go on site today. And where are we going?
Well, we are a little north of where we usually are at Abstraction Spirits in Paducah. Newer distillery with a lot of great product that we're really excited to just taste and to just check out. So.
Yeah, we've looked around the building a little bit, and building is beautiful. I'm excited for this to see a little bit more behind the scenes. And with us, we have a guest. So I guess we'll just go ahead and introduce him.
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Patrick Ketting with Abstraction Spirits. I'm one of the co-owners here and the director of sales for Abstraction Spirits, and let me take you for a little walk around the distillery today. Come along. So we opened up about end of January in 2026, the night before an ice storm. So we opened up one night and then we closed for a week. So guests, when they arrive, will come in for a tour, and we start in our tasting room. So this is where we start. We actually teach some classes in here as well.
Very cool. Do you do mixology classes, things like that?
Everything, all the things we have on our list to do, cocktail engagements, alcohol 101 classes that we're looking to do.
Okay.
We have a pie and cocktail pairing event coming up pretty soon.
Okay.
We have an ownership group of, quite a few people, and so there's a lot of great ideas that flow out of everybody. Between our manager on site is John Biller. He's here almost every day. He kind of runs the front of house, so he has some wonderful ideas. Frank and Louisa Dideker, who are the president of the company, he and his wife both have quite a few fun ideas that we get to work with. So
that's awesome.
And then we have Gene and Roxanne Magnus as well, and Rox is a forager. So we're going to have a lot of spring cocktails and summer cocktails that are really specialty 1 week things, whatever we can make, and we'll try to fire up a cocktail for her.
Nice.
So, but
that sounds awesome. Yeah, I like the cocktail 101. That's always fun. We've done a lot of cocktails on the podcast, and as we near the end of our season, we're focusing on bourbon specifically.
Brilliant.
We've done a lot of bourbon cocktails. We've teased a lot about bourbon. We haven't really done any kind of 101 on bourbon. And so our finale, which will air after this, will kind of deep dive into, terminology of bourbons and things like that.
Awesome.
And so, what makes a bottle and bond, what make, rye, different things like that. So just so people have a foundation at the end of season 1 so we can build on for further seasons. But
it's education, as far as educating a guest or the customer, just makes them a little more aware of what things are. Mm-hmm. And it's you're helping people build a palate.
Yeah.
When we do the tasting, so a tour typically always does, concludes in a tasting. Nice. So we'll flight taste, and
love it.
Gives me an opportunity to speak directly to the customer regarding what we have in the bottle for them. So, and kind of give them a little history and background as we go.
I love it.
So, let's go take a look at the still house.
Let's see how the bourbon is made.
So, welcome to our still house. This is where the magic happens. So, in the case of bourbon or any kind of whiskey, so anything made with grain can be a whiskey. Is a whiskey. Anything made with, it's every style of alcohol, every label has its own guidelines. And so as far as whiskey is concerned, and specifically bourbon, it will be made with grain. And so we have a grain hopper back here that our milled grain will come in, go into the hopper, get fed through this auger into our mash tun. Then in the mash tun, we add, combine it with water to make this slurry and bring that up to a boil, both to develop the amylase, the enzymes needed to break down some of the starches, and also sanitize it so that it's just hot, sanitized sugar water. So it's basically a very sweet slurry when it comes off. What we call in the beer world wort, and in the whiskey world like wash. So
Distiller's beer.
Distiller's beer, yeah. That'll move over from here into our fermentation tanks right here. We'll cool that liquid down to about 60 Fahrenheit, and we're going to shoot for pitching in a yeast here. And in 3 to 5 days, we should have an alcoholic solution of around 8 to 10%.
Nice.
So, at which we would then pump that into our still, and that's where really the magic happens. So the whiskey still over here is it's a hybrid still. So 2 main types of distillation methods. There's a pot still. So this is a single, simple pot still. The liquid's placed in here. The alcohol will evaporate at about 78.3 Celsius, whereas water at sea level will start to vaporize at 100. So in that space between 78 and 100, so the vapors coming off of this liquid are more alcohol than anything else, ethanol. So it goes up through this lion's head and gets pushed over and collected into our condenser. So cold water is run through this condenser to chill down that pipe, so that when that hot air moves over through here, it will then recondense into a little bit, probably 30 to 40% alcohol at that point.
Okay.
Now we're left with a mess in here that needs to be cleaned out. So we clean out the majority of that, save a little bit of the back set, which we will add to the next run of distillate.
Okay.
What that is, that's called sour mashing.
Yeah.
So with that, it keeps the pH level at an acceptable spot and makes the whiskey really comes out with a much better flavor.
Okay.
So then once we collect enough to fill this back up, again with the stripped alcohol, and that just has the alcohol and not any of the mash left in it, then we run it again, and that's when we'll run it through the column. So it'll boil off through here, run back down into this column where it gets heated up again, and then it'll start to pass through this column. Each one of these windows, you can see a small plate in there.
Okay.
So those plates, we can shoot cool water through that plate. It's a perforated plate. It's got holes in it, but we'll chill those plates down by adding cold water. So as those vapors climb, they'll hit that, recondense, and then fall back down. And in that process of moving up and down, it will really refine the alcohol. So we would shoot to get 70 to 80% alcohol content at that point as we run it out. And then from there, we collect that. And at that point, it goes into the barrel. We water it back down to no higher than 125 proof, 62.5% alcohol.
Okay.
Into the barrels, and away we go. Then we ship them off to our warehouse, which is run by Whiskey Thief.
Nice.
Yeah. So,
Nice. Well, the still is beautiful.
thank you.
It looks like if I rub it, a genie might pop out
I hope so.
and grant me all my bourbon wishes.
I hope so. Yes. So, and we also use this. Currently, we're running our gin in house, and so the pot still is a very quick and simple method. When we make our gin, we actually macerate all the botanicals, like a large tea bag, like a muslin bag.
Okay.
We put in our distillate, a grain neutral spirit, and let that steep like tea overnight. Remove that bag, pump that liquid into here, and then if you can see, there's a basket hanging in there.
I can't. I'm sure. Oh, yep. I do see it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that basket is a gin basket. You can see it in there. Yeah. We take a larger amount of those same botanicals and we place it in that basket.
Okay.
So when the vapors rise through it, the vapors pass over the juniper, the coriander, the grains of paradise, the lemon peel, and we'll pull even more of that flavor and aroma up through the lion's head, down through the condenser. We have our finished gin.
Wow.
So then we proof that down to 110 proof, and we're ready to make cocktails. The nice thing about gin is we can make a gin in start to finish 4 or 5 days.
Okay.
There's a certain amount of time you want to let it off gas.
Yeah.
We let it sit in a tank, and just some of those heavier vapors will burn off of it pretty quick, and then it goes into the bottling line. So
it's no secret, I'm not a big gin fan. I've had your gin and it is wonderful.
Thank you.
Is that how gin is typically made? The way you
Typically.
just described it?
There's
The Russians and all that?
this,
Or not, I'm sorry.
the English, yeah.
The English, yes.
The Indians, the English. No, it's typically those are some preferred methods. There's also like a pump over method, and it's long soak maceration.
Okay.
This is we found the most efficient manner
Sure.
to get the flavors, the aromas of our botanicals into the liquid, and then run it through in the vapor basket again. And I appreciate the fact that you like our gin. So
Yes.
it's one of my favorites. So
We bought a case.
yes, brilliant,
So just to make house cocktails with and everything. So it's pretty awesome.
excellent.
So when this is done,
Yes,
do you bring in a big giant thing to collect it all in, and then you take it on? And
we tub it and we send it over to Whiskey Thief. They have the barreling system set up more efficiently than we do here.
Got it.
So we have a lovely partnership with the guys over at Whiskey Thief, and we'll send our distillate over. It comes out of the still, and this is maybe not a known thing. All whiskey comes out of the still white, water white. It's clear. So, and what gives it 100% of its color and the majority of its flavor is the barrel.
Mm-hmm.
So the magic of the barrel is a big portion of what goes on with the bourbon world.
Yeah.
You know, I come from the beer world. I brewed for years, and so yeast can make a big difference in flavor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you notice that in the beer. Hops, they're not involved in this process, but we use about the last brewer I worked with. We've got about 4 different yeasts that we use depending on the beer that we make.
Okay.
So you can affect flavor like that. You can affect flavor in the whiskey by using a different yeast. You can affect the flavor by what grains you add to it.
Mm.
But realistically, a lot of it is the barrel. You know, barrel and time.
Yeah.
You know, the biggest thing is I've seen it done and tried. Rushing the process, sometimes time is the only thing that gets the job done.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah. Well, and time is a requirement in
Mhm.
the barrel. So.
Exactly.
So you said some of the yeast, some of the mash goes back for a sour mash process.
Yes.
What do you do with the rest? Do you feed it to pigs or?
We're working with a couple local farmers to to recycle as much as we can. You
Nice.
know, nothing goes down the drain.
Yeah.
It's it still has nutritional value.
Mhm.
I've got a relationship with several hog farmers in the Cape area
Okay.
for all the beer stuff we do. So by the time we do this, I'm sure we'll have a relationship with someone because thankfully pigs eat everything.
That's right.
Pigs and chickens, man, they eat
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, that's true.
So
We have chickens. So, okay. So you're not going to make cereal out of it or anything?
not the plan. I mean, as much as we're only doing as much as we can right now.
Yeah.
You know,
That would be the breakfast of champions right there.
we've done. I have some friends who do dog treats out of spent grain.
Nice.
You know,
Okay.
and
That's cool.
and that's for people far more talented than I am in the kitchen.
Yeah.
You know,
I have a friend who does CBD dog treats.
yeah,
So not the same thing at all, but
gets the job done though.
Yes.
So,
mellows the dogs.
yep.
I love it. So how much alcohol would be in the mash? Any?
After it's spent, there's still a little. You never can truly extract all of it, but I mean, you can also cook it off, and to sanitize it more or less, you would just boil it. You know,
Okay.
so
So you're not like getting the pigs toasted.
pigs can drink. This is our water filtration system. When we decided to settle on Paducah as our home, we did not realize the amount of chlorine in the water system here, and so we have to run it through several filtration systems before we reverse osmosis the water. So all of the water we add back starts with pure H2O. So any mineral additions that we would need to do, or any additions to adjust the pH, we can do that from a blank slate of a 7 pH.
Gotcha.
So
It's the steps you have to take when you don't have a natural limestone filtered spring beneath you.
exactly, it's
Jack Daniels.
yeah, it's a lot of distilleries historically, in the 1800s, were, if they found a good spring, that's where they'd set up shop.
Yeah.
You know. So
That's cool. That's kind of the neglected tech, the stuff you don't really think about is this guy probably does most of the heavy lifting as far as your flavor, because you're going to get a lot of that flavor from the water too, right?
it takes everything out of it so that we can add back in what we need to add in.
Gotta have that quality H2O.
Yeah, it's and unfortunately because of how much we have to blow off, it's not an exceedingly efficient system yet. So, but we also try to keep 500 gallons of reverse osmosis water at all times, just in case.
Perfect.
So,
Okay.
do you want to go taste some whiskey now?
Yes. Is there any other tech here that you can show us? Anything?
Everything low. It's kind of low tech. The barrels.
Bottling? And
Yeah,
any of
the
that?
bottling line. Yes.
I mean, I hate to say wait on the tasting, but
Oh, yeah. So this is our bottling line. And this is, if I haven't emoted well enough, we're a very small company. So when the manager, John, is here, you're talking to 2/3 of the sales team if we stand next to each other. And if Devin's here, then the three of us, the delivery team. And the bottling team is one of our other owners, Caleb Greenlee, is kind of over the production side of things.
okay.
And so he'll be over to help out. And, it's manual fill. So we put the barrel or the bottles in upside down, and it shoots neutral grain spirits in to sanitize the bottles.
Okay.
Rinses them out, completely kills everything. Bottles come under here, hit the fill switch, and they get filled. 750 mils. It's a float tank essentially, so where there's constantly a backlog or a backstock of the liquid ready to go in.
Okay.
Slides from here to our capper. It's hydraulic capper, or pneumatic. Everything's run on pneumatics here. Sorry.
Okay.
Pump it in. Cap comes down. So one person can do this. Four of us do really well. Because then you move it to the table here.
Yep.
We put capsules on it, which are just the shrink wrap foil protector or plastic protection.
Somebody hits it with the heat gun and
Hit it with the heat gun, and then we hand label everything.
okay.
So if any bottle that you buy that's been bottled in this facility, which is pretty much a goodly portion of all our clear spirits and a good portion of our brown spirits now,
Okay.
have one of our fingerprints on the back.
Nice.
Just inadvertently.
Yeah.
Usually the half of my finger. So, but yeah, so the whole system is run pneumatically. So it's probably one of the cleanest systems because there's just air running through it. It's a bit noisy, but we all have a good time.
Yeah.
Turn on the rock and roll.
I love it. How many can you bottle in a day?
We haven't really pushed ourselves, but we've got 2 barrels to do. So you're looking at best, if those barrels are completely full, 280 bottles. So if we do 2 a day, that's 500, 540 bottles. Me doing arithmetic on the fly is never good.
Right.
It gets a lot worse whenever we're drinking.
Yeah.
I just get more confident at that point.
Oh, yeah.
So, but yeah, everything comes like when we bottle out of a barrel, which we'll do this week, it basically just goes through a screen filter and almost a paper, 20 micron, 30 micron paper filter like you'd use for coffee, just to make sure that the bigger chunks of barrel char don't end up in the system in here.
Gotcha.
Now, our uncut, unfiltered whiskeys, so all our whiskeys, save for the last one, I'll explain in the tasting, are usually uncut, unfiltered, meaning we don't chill filter it, we don't do a 1 micron filter or a 5 micron filter. It's literally just a screen and a little bit of paper. So in our single barrel with rye whiskey, you can see typically there's just a little black cloud in the bottom, and that's just barrel char. It's not going to kill you.
Yeah.
If it is, I'm in trouble. So yeah, typically uncut, unfiltered is kind of our mantra for our brand. That being said, our light whiskey, when you get a chance to taste it, I'll explain why we had to water that one down.
Okay.
But yeah, everything comes to us either in the barrels or we have them toted at our warehouse So one of our main brands is This Old Cowboy, which we'll taste. And just bottled up some the other day.
Nice.
That's a 5-barrel blend or 3-barrel blend, I think, on this batch. So they mix 3 barrels together of the ones that taste most similar into the tote. And the tote's just easier for us to move around the warehouse. You can forklift it and you can pallet jack it, and makes it a lot easier than rolling barrels around. I applaud the guys who do it the old school way, but we're a very small company and I'm not that strong.
It's always fun to see those competitions and stuff, and out in Louisville and all that, where they are rolling the barrels and seeing who can do it the fastest and the furthest and all that.
Yeah, all of us are moving in our so these are some of our storage barrels, and so us moving them in down the alleyway, in the dead of winter was comical at best.
Oh, I'm sure.
So awesome.
Great.
Let's see. I think that's what we've got back here.
Okay. What's this guy?
This our air compressor.
Okay.
Like I said, the whole thing's pneumatic, so the system runs on air. And we built enough capacity that we can, if we go to a much larger bottling line, we decided to stay pneumatic.
Nice.
So we overbuild quite a bit. We plan to grow. We just have to do it at a pace that we can control.
Yeah,
and
something
handle.
sustainable.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, as far as small distilleries go, it's very impressive the amount of different spirits that you offer, because you have a vodka, you have a gin now, you've got the rum, and then you've got several different bourbons and whiskeys.
We've got. We'll walk through quite a few of them. I think we have 4, 5, 6, 7 whiskeys currently, with
That's
another
awesome.
one on the way.
Yeah.
So there's a horse race in the beginning of May.
Nobody's heard of that.
Nobody's heard of it. And we're doing a party for it, and we are doing a horse race bottle.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we can't really say which race it is, but
yeah,
we have the art for it. And that's kind of what we enjoy, is that we control a lot of our art. And one of the myriad things about Frank, the owner, is he is really good with paperwork. So he gets labels through the system pretty quick.
Nice.
He's very...
Meticulous.
His skill set is way better than mine when it comes to paperwork,
That's awesome.
So,
okay.
And having an in-house artist art director allows us to be very creative.
Yes, and we'll show you the art gallery in the other room. We'll give you a chance to see their bottles. All their labels are beautiful. All their labels are original artwork from original artists. Nothing about this place. The tech they do not use here is AI. So
right, so now the fun part. Let's taste some whiskeys.
Yes, let's do.
So in front of you, we have 2 bourbons,
Mm-hmm.
1 rye, and 1 American light whiskey.
Okay.
So we're going to start left to right. On the left, very far left, is our 9-year-old bourbon called This Old Cowboy. That was what was back there in the boxes that we just bottled this week. So
spin that around for the camera. This Old Cowboy. Beautiful, beautiful label.
Bring it in.
And you've got the mash bill in the back, it looks like.
Yep. So this is 60% rye. 60% corn, 36% rye, and 4% malted barley.
Nice.
And what I was talking about earlier, can you see the little black cloud in there?
Yep.
Yeah. So these, like it is uncut, unfiltered. This batch came out at 100 proof dead flat.
Oh, wow.
It's a 3-barrel blend. For some reason, low down in the rick house, it was cooler area, but it came out to 100 flat. So we're at the end of that batch. So batch 2 comes out, and that's 108 proof that was in there in the other room.
Okay. Nice. It's got a good smell.
It's my favorite part of the job.
Yep. Is that why you got into it?
That's the long story short. I grew up in the grocery business and then moved into like restaurants, and I was a wine sales rep. I was involved in beer brewing. I worked with a brewery. I've just been around the spirits and alcohol industry a good portion of my life. So this is a wonderful kind of landing spot after all the other things I've done, is to be involved in this project with the rest of the team.
That's awesome.
So.
Yeah, there are worse ways to spend your day than bourbon.
It's great flavor. I like that.
This is we use this for our old fashioned, and our house old fashioned is called the Dark Cowboy.
Okay.
My oldest daughter is a bartender as well, and she loves the Old Cowboy for her mixology as well. So then we step down to a 5-year distillate. So we got quite a bit of this. I'm sorry, it is 6 years in this bottle. So when I first joined, it was a 5-year liquid. It's a 6-year-old liquid. So it's been 6 years in barrels. So on the tech side of things, the age statement of any bourbon, any American whiskey, is the youngest age. So since we all these barrels are 6 years old, this is a 6-year-old whiskey. If we were to blend in a bottle of 2-year-old, then we'd have to call it 2-year-old whiskey. So, and that refers to the time it spends in a barrel, time that it spends in the original barrel. So this is 6-year-old distillate, 116 proof. Lighter rye on the mash bill. This is a 21% rye mash bill, 75% corn, 4% malted barley. This is where the brand began. This is the first distillate, or the first mash bill that we started as a company with. This is the first whiskey that I tasted with Frank.
And probably my favorite label.
Yes.
It's a cool label.
The first 2 bourbons we're trying are labels that Frank and his wife Louisa are the owners. They own these pieces of artwork. And then through their relationship, they have licensed them for us to use as labels and for artwork around the distillery. We do not own that artwork in theory. We own the piece, but but we licensed it. So those first 2, super fun. Artist's name is Jim Warren down in Orlando, and Tim Yankee up in Detroit.
Nice.
But moving forward, all of our whiskeys are going to have commissioned artwork. So our 3rd whiskey is a rye whiskey. So unlike bourbon, it is 51 or more percent rye. In this case, it's 95% rye, 5% malted barley. This is a 8-year-old single barrel. So this is a 3-barrel batch, a 5-barrel batch. This is a single barrel. So we're already on batch 2. Batch 1 went pretty fast. This is a bottle of batch 1 still. You guys are lucky. So batch 1, this is my hands down favorite whiskey that we do. It's this is my favorite. We do a lot of great stuff, but this is what my lane that I play in. And batch 1 was 124 proof.
Wow.
So now there's a lot of people that don't like rye whiskey, or they're not acclimated to it, or they don't prefer it. I will always bring this one to the party because I feel this has this wonderful sweetness that kind of counteracts that rye punch.
Yeah.
That if you're not a rye fan, hopefully this will get you in the neighborhood. I thought we sold out of all of batch 1. That's really nice.
Nice.
Oh, that's real nice.
Yeah.
And it's got a little bit of that green pepper, a little bit of spearmint on the end.
Did you say 124 proof?
Yes, sir.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can feel the bite, but it's the taste, the flavor is good.
Yeah. That label's cool too.
So at this point, friend of ours, friend of the family, friend of the company, did this, and he's actually a radiologist by trade.
Okay.
But he, in his undergrad, he minored in art, and so he does a lot of watercolor. So if you were in the gallery, a lot of the watercolor pieces are his.
Okay.
And it's the hardest label for us to put on to translate into the label because charcoal pencil over watercolor is just a difficult thing to capture with this.
Yeah.
But we really loved how it came out, and it's one of my favorites.
That's
so
super cool. Yeah.
But that was
very good rye.
That was a chance to. We had the whiskey, we had the artist. He made some art, several pieces. We got to choose which piece, and this was the one that won by majority. My choice didn't make the front, but it did make the back.
There you go.
You know,
that's cool.
very, very clean looking.
Yeah.
That probably doesn't come through on the camera, but if your guests want to come out and take a tour, we'll happily show them the whole ins and outs as well.
Perfect.
So
real quick.
yes.
You're talking about selection for the art. Where do the names come from?
Now also, that's so. This Old Cowboy, I believe, is the name of the art piece.
Okay.
Time Sipping Away was Frank's. I believe Frank and Louisa came up with that name.
Yeah.
Memory of Fire. Now we're doing things in committee. So there was a lot of emails back and forth, and this picture, this picture, this picture.
Yeah.
And we were trying to think of all kinds of stuff. And Memory was, we added the E on the end, so it's Memory of Fire. Because we're also in a space you can't use somebody else's name. You know, like I said, I have a background in the beer world.
Yeah.
I mean, you see some of the crazy beer names out there, you know. So, but yeah, it's kind of by committee. It depends. Now that we have Keith on board as our art director, you know, he will have a little more control of it. But there's typically an email out to the group to see where we want to run with it.
So which comes first now that it's by committee? The name or the artwork?
I don't know what the kids, it really depends. It's so in the case of the next whiskey, so the last of our core 4. So the core 4 whiskeys are the 4 that we typically will always have.
Yeah.
These labels are registered. These labels we've bought enough of that liquid to have available going into the future. So in the case of Bat Country, our last whiskey, Bat Country is the first piece that Keith Anderson did with us. And in this scenario, we went out and tasted the whiskey.
Okay.
So this is a light whiskey and not a bourbon. So to be a bourbon, you have to have 51% corn.
Yeah.
It has to be made in the contiguous 48 U.S. states. It has to go into a charred new oak barrel. And you can only distill it as high as, I believe, 160 proof. Any higher than that, you know, it starts to lose the characteristic. American light whiskey was distilled a little bit higher, and it's 95% corn, 5% malted barley, and they use second use barrels instead of fresh barrels every time. It was a category for quite some time in the 70s. It has a very light flavor, and when you distill it up that high, you can age it in a barrel, and then by the time you water it down, you proof it down to 80 proof. You get a ton of bottles.
Okay.
So it was meant to be a light flavored whiskey, but also, you know, have a lot of volume yield from it. But in this case, we tasted the whiskey and it was good, but it was lacking something, and color and flavor. And so we decided to use a toasted barrel stave, similar to Maker's Mark. If you guys do that program, they actually add staves of wood into the barrels for the secondary maturation. We did something similar. Frank took a barrel one of our original whiskey barrels and chopped it into little chunks and literally barbecued the wood to get it to toast and not to char.
Yeah.
And so then we took those strips that he had toasted and shoved them in the barrel. And I believe they sat for about 14 weeks before he started tasting them. In that, when we went to taste all the barrels, Keith and his wife, Rachel, came with us. So now the artist is tasting the whiskey with us.
Yeah.
So I was thinking light, like do something white, light, bright colors. And Frank was thinking something lightweight, think of feathers or balloons. And so Keith had come up with the hot air balloon over the Louisville skyline. Yeah. And then put some bats in it because they make baseball bats there, I think.
Louisville Sliders.
Yeah. So, and Frank's a big fan of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. So the Bat Country reference for Hunter S. Thompson. So that is where the real symbiosis of this whiskey, because the artist was there. We were all tasting whiskey. It was a great day. We had a bunch of fun in our warehouse. But it is the first and only whiskey currently in our lineup that we've proofed down. Because light whiskey tends to be very high proof in the barrel. This was 135 proof when we tasted it. So we did proof this down to 126. Yeah. Still a barn burner.
And that's ironic because I hear light whiskey and I think light proof. But because it's so high of a proof, it's like, oh, it's actually it's dangerous.
Yeah.
That is very different for sure.
I mean, cinnamon red hot on the finish.
Yeah.
And same, you can see the barrel char down there.
0% rye, 0% wheat.
Yep. Just corn and barley.
That's wild.
Ooh. It's strong, but it's good.
Yeah.
So, and it's probably our best value here at the distillery is to come and take a tour. You get a pretty lengthy version of what we just went through. Yeah. But you get to taste these 4 whiskeys, and you get a cocktail to walk around with. Yeah. And a commemorative glass. And for the price point, it's probably the best deal in the house. We try to do 3 to 4 of those on every Saturday. That's
awesome.
And invariably, we always throw in a bonus whiskey.
All right.
So like when we do the tour and everything, we usually get like a bonus. And so we've got a couple distillery only releases that are only available here. We have one that you can only get if you take the tour. And it was a Kelvin barrel toasted Kelvin barrel 10-year-old whiskey. And it is amazing. And it's one of those, like, I've got friends in Cape, that's where I'm from. They're like, can you bring me one back? I'm like, I can't, we got rules, come on down and take the tour and come take the tour. Come see us. We put a lot of time, effort and money in this. We want people to come see us. Yeah. So my favorite story to tell, because I'm really stodgy. I'm really traditional, and our labels have a lot of fun and whimsy to them. And Frank's got this lovely sense of humor, and I love where his brain is. But we walked into the week we were looking at buildings. We walked into the Arts Council over there, the Paducah Area Painters Alliance, and we're just looking around the gallery, and he saw this piece of artwork, and he goes, "Oh, I don't, oh no." Usually when he gets excited, it means I have work to do. And so it was a raccoon on horseback with like a sword, like a scimitar, And he goes, I gotta, I want it. And it was already sold. And Frank's wife, Louisa, got on the horn and tracked the lady down and commissioned her to do a raccoon in a suit of armor with a broadsword on a dragon. And I went,
as you do.
I'm just like, oh my God. Oh, what, I just didn't get the joke, and
that is the natural progression of that art.
It's so much fun because it's on the wall up front. And then Frank said he wanted to put light whiskey, which we just tasted, in a gin barrel. So we bought a barrel that had housed gin, and I went, Nothing about this sounds really good. And then a few months later, after he did, because we hadn't even gotten we had already put the whiskey in the gin barrel, and then he found this, he sent it to me, and like I'm working from my home office, and I've got this box that he brought by my house, and it's got all these little samples in it, and I tasted we have a sherry cask version of our Time Sipping Away that is a distillery only piece, and it's Sir Trash Panda. It was born Sir Trash Panda, and it's great. It's really. I'll let you guys tell me, but it is it's so unique and fun. Even if you're not a gin fan, this is such a fun whiskey. Bartenders love it. Unfortunately, we only had 30 gallons of it, so we just got what's left of these 375 bottles in distillery. And I've got a lot of my bartending buddies that want to make a cocktail with it. And I said, well, there's just not enough for us to have.
Sure.
So now when we were doing the walk around, and you saw we're barrel aging our gin.
Yeah.
So our first part of our first run of the gin is getting barrel aged so that we can do Sir Trash Panda again.
Nice.
But once again, it's always magic. Everything goes in a barrel. You never know. You kind of have an idea.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, this is Sir Trash Panda.
Okay.
Has a totally different nose. It's very unique.
Yeah, that taste after is very different.
I love it. It's just my favorite thing, and if there's only one tragedy to it, it's we only have so much, and typically when we do the tours, like I said, you'll get our 4 whiskeys, and then you'll get a bonus one, and typically if it's this one, it will sell a bottle to everybody because is it something that I think people will sit down and drink a whole bottle of, and when I hope not, share it with your friends, but but I did take it to a local bar and just was showing it off, and they took it and made a really, really fun and unique kind of Manhattan with it that blew my mind.
Wow.
Okay.
So
yeah, that is you taste the aftertaste for several seconds.
and that finish lingers, but it's got so much fun to it because it's hard. It's like you're trying to decipher what that is.
Yeah.
But for me, I love the puzzle. I love that puzzle that my brain is trying to figure out.
Yeah.
So.
Well, speaking of cocktails, are there any cocktails that you guys do here in-house at the distillery that are unique to you?
Yes. So John, our manager, put together some ideas, and we've tasted through them. We're not a bar per se. We have a bar here. The goal is to have a cocktail that showcases each one of our whiskeys. And so the cocktail list is 4 whiskey cocktails, 1 for each of our core 4 whiskeys.
Okay.
And then with the clear spirits, we did do 2, and it's really to showcase that spirit, how it works, and how it fits into a cocktail. I did a dinner the other night. We did a paired dinner, and I like to use some of our signature cocktails so that we were in Sikeston, Missouri, which is an hour and a half away, and had dinner there, and everybody got to preview the cocktail. Not exactly how, because I'm going to make it for a large group of people. It's when you make it one at a time, you do a much better job. But they were very good analogs. But we went with that idea so that it's kind of building that brand of the dark cowboy is our old fashioned. Now, if you're an old fashioned fan, we do a build your own old fashioned program. You have the choice of 4 whiskeys, 5 whiskeys, because you can use our distillery special or monthly special. And we've got 8 syrups and 8 bitters and 15 different garnishes.
Wow.
And so it's an interactive experience. For me, an old fashioned's an old fashioned. It's just sugar, Angostura bitters, rye whiskey. That's the original recipe. That was it. Orange peel. That's it. But as the old fashioned is the number 1 whiskey cocktail of the time. So allowing our guests the opportunity to play around with it. Are there some combinations that probably wouldn't be good? Obviously, but a lot of people stick. There's some proven ones. There's the toasted coconut or the toasted marshmallow old fashioned with the chocolate bitters has been a favorite.
Okay.
Okay.
We have a dark cherry bitters and a cherry, and so that's a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun with it, and it's in the cocktail realm. Yes, we have signature cocktails, but yes, our guests can make their own signature cocktail, and we encourage them to take their card home, you know, and remember what you did, or don't, because I think there's like 87,000 possible combinations. You know, it's something stupid. It's a math problem I didn't want to have to do.
Yeah,
and but with that, you can do so much, and so you come back and it's a new experience every time.
Yeah,
so
that's fun.
Sir Trash Panda. God, it's lovely.
Well, I have not had anything I didn't like. So
Good.
Yeah, I could see myself drinking any one of these.
Yeah, they this is the fun part of the job, man. It's for the years that I was in the industry as a sales rep, like getting to talk to people and getting to show them new experiences, new flavors. I've always been a fan. My favorite word, and I've trained myriad bartenders, and almost anybody that I've ever trained, they'll tell you, my favorite word is yet. If someone says, I don't like this, and I said, well, yet. I mean, you don't know, and maybe it's a bit too confident on my behalf, but like if I haven't figured out a way to show you how this can work in your world, I'm not happy until I've exhausted every opportunity. It's meeting new friends, and cook dinner. I love cooking. I cook for people all the time. I cook for someone. They're like, I don't like mushrooms. I'm like, oh, well, okay, hold on. And that immediately strikes a challenge in my brain. To go, okay, I'm going to make you something with mushrooms that you're going to love. And I had my children were picky eaters to start off, and now they're let's do it, adventure, show me. As long as it's safe, let's give it a shot. So
let's eat monkey brains.
It's I mean, the poor kids have had brain sandwiches when they were young, but same thing with when people go, I had a guy who did the tour. He's like, I don't drink whiskey. I said, okay, why? He goes, well, I just don't like it. I said, well, give me a minute. You're sitting here, you paid for it. And, he tasted everything. He goes, I can see, it's just everything. The one thing is this really does fit to our palate. So everything is barrel proof. Like when our lowest proof thing is 100 proof, it's just not for the faint of heart. So, but
it's not an easy access point.
But I always say, taste everything, give everything 3 attempts. Especially in the alcohol world.
Add some water.
Yeah. You can always add water. Taking it out is tough. You got to have the machine like that.
Right.
I always say, take your first sip and just a sip, and it's going to, if you're not a big drinker, the 100 proof and higher, go, ooh, okay, yikes. The second is you're starting to acclimate. Okay. And then the third sip, I think, is when you're actually accepted, this is what's going down, and you start to pick out flavor components, different parts of your mouth. Is there sour? Is there sweet? Is there salty? Is there bitter? Is there, so, and then that's when your brain starts putting the lexicon together.
Okay. So tip for all our viewers, give it three drinks, 3 sips.
It was the bane for my children, And I try something, go, I'm like, got 2 more to go, that eyeball's not going to eat itself or whatever. So
you've got a bartender that she is adamantly against whiskey and bourbon for whatever reason. We're going to tell her now that she's got to try it 3 times.
I will. I will happily come out and talk to her. And because it's also presentation. This is pretty aggressive. But I love a highball. It's if everything else fails, I love a highball. Just some soda water, some sparkling water, and the whiskey, and you find that point of where you're
like accessibility.
You're diluting it to a point where even when you add a little water to whiskey,
Mm-hmm.
what it'll do is it'll break up some of the phenols and some of the aromas.
Yeah.
You'll start to get some different aromas out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it just opens up enough. And sometimes that may take 2 mils of water, a milliliter of water, or it may take 100 mil
Mm-hmm.
to, water it to a point where they go, oh, I taste something completely different.
Yeah.
Like when the gin comes off the still, there's different flavors come to the forefront during the distillation process. So if you stick a glass underneath there, 20 minutes in, 30 minutes in, once the hearts are running, you may get lemony custard more than you would anything. And there you may get black pepper and juniper later. And it's the magic of all this stuff, and it's perception too.
Mm-hmm.
Like the perception's our own reality. Like this is more of a brain, less of a tech thing, more of a neuro deal. But you and we've all been trained that this is shades of brown in front of us.
Yeah.
But what if I'm seeing a shade of green and I've
Yeah.
just been trained that this is brown?
Mm.
Yeah.
You go way down this existential,
Yeah.
I try not to, when I'm doing tastings, call out my tasting notes immediately, because it's easy to color somebody's,
Mm-hmm.
you taste number 3 and you're like, oh, green pepper. And they go, oh yeah, I can see that. No, you didn't.
That's what I'm tasting. Yeah.
I'm exceptionally sensitive to Parisians, which is the green pepper skin
Mm-hmm.
in the wine world. And so when it's in a rye whiskey, I can catch it really quickly.
Mm.
Some people are taste blind. Some
Yeah.
people have a blank space in they're and it's not typically the mouth, it's the problem, it's your brain.
Sure.
Interesting.
And that's fair, because I spent a lot of years not being able to discern tastes, not being able to pick out different flavors or smells. And I think some of it is just I was so overwhelmed with senses as a kid that I blocked them all out. And so I had a really hard time picking out flavors and profiles and the things that everybody enjoys. And I was like, oh yeah, this tastes great. But it was all bland, really.
Mm-hmm.
And after I started working where I'm working now, I started going and with my boss, and we would get a drink. And before I would drink, maybe a bourbon or whiskey, like with Sprite or, some kind of Canadian whiskey with some mellow yellow or something, just because that's what one of my coworkers had. My boss is like, no. You need to get a bourbon. And if you're going to cut it with water so that you can still taste the things that are in the bourbon and get an idea of what it is. And I'm like, okay, let's do that. So for the last 7-8 years, that's what I've been doing, is slowly cutting out all the extra flavors, and let's get the bourbon. Let's get maybe a little bit of water. And then we started this podcast, and who needs water anymore?
Yeah, apparently we do.
To live, maybe.
Yeah, I like
Not to taste.
Yeah.
I like using sparkling water.
Mm-hmm.
On camera. And then water. But yeah, it's that's why the highball is so much fun.
Yeah.
Because it's just fizzy water.
Yeah.
And with that effervescence, it gives a textural aspect to the taste.
Yeah.
So there's so much. I mean, the science of tasting is so incredible. That's why COVID was the scariest thing.
Yeah.
I had a bourbon club. We would, from about 2017 on, we would meet once a month, and it was a bourbon club, right? Bunch of dudes just being bros, whatever. And with my bourbon group, I was in deep in this the educational side of what I do. Like in the sales world, I was trying to be an educator. Like I have to tell the stories, and I want to tell the stories because the story wins. Sir Trash Panda, if I just blindfolded you and gave you Sir Trash Panda, you go, what the, what is this? What are you doing to me? But the story, how funny it was and how happy Frank was to get this picture. And then you tell the story when you serve it to your buddy and they're like, oh yeah, this is pretty cool, And so telling these stories. So I joined this bourbon club, and it was a bunch of guys that had been established for just a short bit. And it was one of those like, all right, we all pay $10 a month, and somebody hosts, and somebody brings food, and then somebody buys 2 bottles of whiskey, and we drink it. I went, Okay, cool. So I show
Drink
up.
2 whole bottles.
Well, they have 2 bottles and they taste them side by side. And they were trying to do some tasting notes, and I had just finished up like my qualitative tasting exams. So I went, okay, yeah, cool. It was like Canadian whiskey, which already Canadian whiskey gets a bad rap because it's just very light and very easy drinking.
Yeah.
And so they had like a Crown Royal and some other big mash bill. Yeah. So, and I went, oh man, you guys, do you know why it's Canadian? I mean, besides the fact that it's made in Canada, you have to, there's certain requirements to be Canadian whiskey. So you got to, you can actually allow it to distill it up higher than bourbon, and then barrel entry proof can be a little higher so that there's better yield. And they're like, what is this fucking guy? What is he doing? So I go, and you know what? I happen to have like 6 bottles of really cool Canadian whiskey in the car. You want me to bring it? And they're like, yeah, sure. So I did it's a sales presentation, like this and this and this, and they're just eating it up. And I got done, and I didn't know the guys. Like a buddy of mine put this group together, and then he got transferred for work, and he said, "This is a group. You should take my spot." So I met those guys for the first time, So they would host and serve the food, and I would just show up with my bag. Yeah. And so then I don't know if I pulled the wool over, but my company, it was an educational thing. So I was working on trying to be an educator. So this was practice for me.
Yeah.
So then I was getting samples. Look, everybody won. These guys went from being bourbon fans to everything.
Yeah.
And I said, guys, you don't even know about rum. Rum's like my passion. And so like, if you think about bourbon, the flavor of run of bourbon, if you take all the flavors of bourbon, you do rum. Now there's all these other crazy flavors you get to deal with. Tequila, also out here. Tequila, most people just drip bar shit tequila. It's there, but there's some really crazy tequila flavors out there. And so I'm like, and I get excited about rum. Like, so every June we do rum, and so those guys are like, well, call in a sick tomorrow because we're getting rum drunk. And then I get excited. So vodka, guys, they're what? Vodka. Seriously, sit with me on this one. So I would get like a rye vodka, 100% rye vodka.
Interesting.
There's several out there. They're fabulous. A potato vodka, a grape vodka, because vodka can be made from anything.
Yeah.
So, and then I sat them all down, and I'm like, okay, this is tough because I said bourbon's here and vodka's here.
Right.
So like when I did my exam, my tasting stuff for work, like you got to be able to differentiate this stuff. So we had to focus, like seriously focus. Like nobody smokes. There were a couple guys that smoked at the time. I said, nobody smokes. We're coming in. We're sitting here in a quiet room, and I had 7 vodkas for them to try. Every one of those guys, and we got a plumber, an electrician, like you got a whole range of dudes.
Yeah.
They know exactly what they like. They know precisely what they like and what mash bill and what So soft red winter wheat Russian vodkas are a hit with these guys. Same thing with gin. Once I got excited, and they go, "Oh, gin, here we go!" And so I brought like 6 gins in, and same deal. And but it's this level of excitement and education is what we want to do here.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're doing a double blind tasting, which the concept is the person leading the tasting has no idea, just like the people have no idea. So I do blind tastings. In the wine world, in the whiskey world, I did blind tastings a lot. But if somebody knew I get blinded at one of my favorite restaurants. I get blinded a lot. The sommelier there is a good buddy of mine. He goes, "What is this?" Like hands it to me. He goes, So my brain starts cycling through the deductive. Okay, it's a red wine. Okay, and so start looking for what it is, and then I got to try to call it. He knows what it is. I don't. Now a double blind is when I'm up here talking, or Frank or whoever's talking doesn't have any idea what they are either. So then now you're leading a group of people to pull out what do you taste? What do you taste? What do you smell? How's it finished? Is it long? Because then it's a whole craziness,
Yeah.
So we're doing another one of those coming up in a few weeks. And they're thematic, so the last one we did was all distilleries that opened in 2014,
So it's not just your stuff.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's not fair. I drink a lot sometimes.
The rye is an easy one to be like, that's remember rye.
But we will put Memory Fire up against other 9-year-old rye whiskeys.
Okay.
You know,
So one of them in the double blind may be one of yours.
Yeah.
Okay.
so we have fun with it.
That's cool.
I would not be good at it, but I would love to watch.
It's the thing is, maybe 10%. Really, real talk. 10% of people are good at it.
Yeah.
If that much. You know, maybe in a room full of 50 people, you get one person that kind of does okay with it.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's experience. You know, product is product.
Yeah.
We're in an economy where product is easily attainable online.
Yeah.
You know, whatever you want, buy it online. The experience is what matters.
Yeah.
So taking the time, hanging out, talking with people.
I mean, as much whiskey as I drink, I'm not sure I'd be good at a blind because, I mean, my wife one day, once in a while, she'll pour me something. At one point, I had like 130 different unique bottles, and she'd just go and pour me something, and she's like, "What do you think?" And I'm like, you know, whatever. I'd give her my honest opinion, and I'm like, she goes, "What is it?" I'm like, no idea. One day, she gave me my favorite of all time, and I drank it, and I'm like, well, it's not the one that is my favorite. And she just kind of laughs, and she's
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's like actually it was, but it didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. Well, whatever the moment was is different than the moment that you decided it was your favorite. So
It's true.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and you know, like we said, if you add ice, if you add water, if you add whatever,
Yeah.
and I think too. I mean, I'll live and die by people are emotional drinkers.
Yeah.
So. I mean, I could have been in a different mindset that day, and it struck me differently.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, there's a lot of stuff that goes into tasting.
Yeah, it's clearing your head, and in you know, I come from the wine world, because that's where I really wanted to get honed in. Bourbon can fatigue your palate. You know, we just had 2.5 ounces of barrel proof, over 100 proof whiskey. My palate's gone. You know, if I was to try to differentiate between different regions of Germany, and there's Weissburgunder, you know, you're just like, my tongue's burnt, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's not there.
Yeah. 126 proof light whiskey.
Yeah, and now my confidence is way up.
So you do math now.
Yeah, all kinds of math. It won't be right, but I'll do the math. So, yeah.
All right, to conclude this fantastic adventure and field trip that we had, they let me behind the bar here at Abstraction, which is dangerous, but do appreciate that. So we are going to do one of their signature cocktails. So Patrick mentioned it earlier, or mentioned that they have several. I'm not going to create your own old-fashioned, but we are going to do their High Rye Manhattan. They've got a lot of incredible looking cocktails. They make a lot of their syrups and stuff in-house, which I totally respect. But yeah, we're just gonna go with the Manhattan because, you know, we want bourbon. We've been drinking bourbon, we're gonna stick with bourbon, and we're gonna smile about it. So this one, their High Rye, we're gonna use that Memory of Fire that we tasted, number 3rd in our tasting. The Antica formula, which is a vermouth. It's a very nice vermouth. I use that in our Manhattans back at the tavern as well. And then an Amaro Nonino, and 2 different bitters. We got orange bitters and we have a cherry bark bitter. So this is probably going to be amazing. So we're going to the Antica formula here. We're going to do a 1/2 ounce of that. I'm not used to this cocktail, so I have to refer to my trusty cheat sheet here. We're gonna go with an Amaro. Now Amaro, yeah, it's a little bitter, and it will be perfect in this. 1/2 ounce of that as well. We're gonna do 2 dashes of the orange, 2 dashes of the cherry. And so we are just going to take these, and I spill them all over. It's just like being at home. All right, Memory of Fire. So you can see that label. I'm not sure you got to see it earlier, so it is a very cool label. We're gonna do 2 ounces of this rye. There. And we're gonna do just a little bit of ice. And we're gonna stir. We've got all their cool branded merch. And then we get to make an incredible cocktail with. And we're just gonna stir enough. 10, 15, 20 seconds, however long, till our fingers get tired. We just want a little bit of that ice to chill this drink and impart a little bit of water. And then we're gonna take this. We're going to pour it right here in this glass. And I've got 3 glasses. I'm gonna make this drink 3 different times. And we are going to put a beautiful dark cherry in that. And I will pass this over while I work on number 2. Oh man.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna wait. I can't just drink that until Joey's ready.
Oh, you can totally. I'm just gonna double this
batch.
one. Yeah. It's really nice working behind a nice spacious bar with all the proper tools. And it's a clean bar. Everything's put where it belongs. One day our bartenders are gonna watch our videos and be like, why is he always ripping on us for not putting our stuff back? So, okay. But we all know Katie doesn't watch this, so it's fine. Okay.
Great.
All right. Cheers, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's one of the best Manhattans I've ever had.
Yes, that is fantastic.
So that I give 100% credit to John. Our John Biller is our manager, and he's chief mixologist.
Yeah,
Okay.
very, very good.
Well, shout out to him.
That Amaro is a very nice addition. So I'll message him later and tell him, well done, sir.
Yes.
And yeah, I appreciate you letting me back here, letting me loose, and
Good time.
letting us try this. So,
Okay, so before we
oh, that is good.
head out, or before we shut off the camera, I guess, is there any last parting words that you would say to our viewers?
To the 3 people that watch this.
That's all right. Hi, Mom. Sure, at some point, she's going to log in and watch this.
There we go.
No, please come visit. This
Yeah.
is I dribbled on long enough earlier about the experience.
Yeah.
You know, the product. I have faith in the product. The product's a great product, but the experience of coming in and getting to hang out with us, getting to see the art, getting to let us tell you the story, let you build your own old fashioned. It's not that far.
Yeah.
You know, we're conveniently located downtown Paducah. Come visit us. Grab one of the local restaurants, somewhere nice to eat,
Yeah.
and have an experience with us.
Yeah.
Sure. Have a good time.
Yeah. Visit the Quilt Museum.
Yeah. Quilt Week's coming or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think the resurgence of the Eastern Kentucky or Western Kentucky bourbon scene.
Yeah.
You know, you have the Casey Jones, you've got the Jackson Purchase, you've got Ingram, you've got us, you've got Old Terrell coming in next door. There's more to offer stepping outside of the Lexington Louisville corridor.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
There's fabulous stuff there, obviously.
Sure. Yeah.
The Bourbon Trail has gotten bigger.
Yeah, it's now it's a 2-week program. So yeah, please come visit us. We'd love to have you.
Okay.
Yeah. And I will say, I mean, as much of a bourbon guy as I am, there really is nothing like visiting. My love for bourbon was born from just a random visit that one of my old employers took us to Jack Daniels. And so I had an appreciation for the story and the history and the culture of it all. And, you know, I didn't have the palate for it back then, but it developed because I had an appreciation.
Yeah.
So even if you're not a bourbon person, that's okay. They have vodka, they have rum, they have gin. Their gin we've heard a lot about, and their gin is incredible. So just if you like good times and good stories and good friends, come. What else do you have to do?
Yeah.
So
And you said Friday and Saturday right now?
Friday nights 4 to 9, and Saturday 11 to 9
Okay.
for now. And it's easier to grow than it was to shrink. So we'll start with the 2 days and see where it goes. But check out our socials, our website. We will have some cool, fun events going on all summer. Having such a big ownership group, Joe and Ashley Byrne, Frank and Louisa Dideker, Gina Roxanne Magnus, myself, Caleb Greenlee. You've got a big enough group of people to come up with an idea.
Yeah.
And then John and the staff here, myself, get to execute it.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's not just come sit and have bourbon sometime. It may be we're willing to try all kinds of things.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome.
yeah. Well, we definitely appreciate your time, Patrick, and opening the doors for us on a day when you're not normally open. So
Yeah.
it's very, very
beautifully
cool.
outside.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So
All right. Well, I think we're going to put the cameras and stuff away and enjoy these cocktails here. But we'll see you guys next week with some other interesting, fun things.
We're gonna keep going with bourbon.
Yep, we're gonna keep up the train, the bourbon train. So y'all tune in next week and stay tipsy. We'll see you next time.